What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Misled Farms, and we are here today on No Man's Land. This is episode 7, and it's also the second time I have recorded episode 7. I'll explain a little bit more about having to re-record this episode. I'll get you guys all up to date on what you missed in the previous recording. So I don't know what exactly happened. I went to go edit and render the recording that I did the other day for this episode for No Man's Land, and when I went to go throw it into the video editing software, I realized that there was absolutely zero audio that was associated with the recording. All it was the gameplay. Don't know what happened, don't know what settings got changed, but here we are re-recording episode 7 technically for the second time. So it'll probably come as no surprise to anyone out there who's been following and watching farming sim content for quite some time that there have been multiple series done on No Man's Land to include roleplay series, start from scratch series. I myself have even previously done a No Man's Land series on my channel about a year and a half ago when I was actually initially getting into recording farm sim content. I had about, I'll say, maybe 14, 15 episodes recorded of doing a No Man's Land series, No Man's Land playthrough. I feel like the No Man's Land series it's fun. I do enjoy putting the videos out, but I think we're going to kind of pump the brakes on how often we're putting out No Man's Land content. If you feel differently about it, please let me know down in the comments section below. But I definitely feel like there's a lot of other options out there for doing some Let's Play series that aren't as repetitive as No Man's Land. And for me, this is the second time I've done a No Man's Land series playthrough. It's not saying that my heart's not in it on No Man's Land or that I don't have a passion for doing a series here on No Man's Land. I absolutely do. But right now we have the Frankenmuth Farm series that's going up. We have the Beginner's Guide series, which for the majority of you probably watching the episodes, maybe the Beginner's Guide's not necessarily for you. You've probably been playing Farming Sim for quite a while, but hopefully that reaches out to new players that are getting into Farming Sim. And that series can also help to answer some of the questions that people have about playing this game. I have other series in mind that I want to start, and one of which I just kind of want to have a series that we just play for the fun, just for the fun of it. I don't want to do a start from scratch. I don't want to do a role play. I basically just want to do a new farmer start. I want to set ourselves up and then just maybe do like a 10 to 15 episode series on that map where we just make as much money as we can. We try to come up with some different ideas of maybe we just want to do a livestock farm where we get as many cows as we possibly can and we just become a dairy farmer. And maybe we become silage kings or bale kings. Who knows? I just want to have a series where we can have some fun. The Frankenmuth Farms is a legitimate start from scratch series, so that is up and running, and I'm having a lot of fun on Frankenmuth Farms. I really enjoy that map. But yeah, No Man's Land here is it's not going to go away. It's not like goodbye forever. No Man's Land is going to just cease to exist, but I think the rate at which we put out No Man's Land content is probably going to slow down just a little bit. We are doing some live streams now as well too, so that's been a lot of fun. And I just kind of feel like right now, I just really don't have a good general direction for No Man's Land. Like, I don't have any end state objective of where we want to be. I think I was just going to basically say, hey, we're going to farm this. I'd have to go back to episode 1 and double check and make sure of what I even said. But I think we were just looking to do like 5 years on No Man's Land and just try to make as much money as we could. And we're already into year 2 right now. And we have $186,000. Realistically, I could just fast forward time to the 5th year and we would survive just based off a mushroom greenhouse. And now some of you are probably saying, well, just get rid of the mushroom greenhouse and just take the money that you currently have from that and just run with it. And that's something that we very may well end up doing. We might just turn this production off for a little while so it stops producing mushrooms, and we'll just roll with making money via just farming and off of our chickens that we still have. So I think to get the episode started today, what we're going to do is we are going to take some of our grain over to the grain mill and start having some flour made. I double checked. We can take our oat over to the grain mill and have flour made out of oat, which is good. Now, full disclosure, I did talk about it in the episode that I recorded that no longer exists because of the audio issues, but the grain mill production plant that we have is a mod. It is the no handcuffs mod, so it does produce flour at a faster rate. So we are going to have a lot more of an output. But the catch is with that we have to make sure that the grain mill stays, for the most part, we have to make sure it stays pretty well stocked up. Otherwise, we're going to burn through everything that we put in there relatively quickly, and the outputs are they're going to stop. Now, what we don't really have is a good place to sell any of the flour that comes up. So we may look at putting a bakery in today so that we can make bread. And then bread from there we'll take up to the farm shop, or we may even just put another sell point down on the map to where we can sell bread to like a restaurant or a grocery store or something along those lines. And that's going to help us make a little bit of extra money as well. All right, rolling up to the grain mill, we'll go ahead and get our barley overloaded here. While that's doing its... Oh, no, I guess I got to stay in the tractor. While that tips over, after this is all loaded in, we will go ahead and take a look at what all of our max capacities are for the no handcuffs grain mill here. So we don't really necessarily have a max capacity, I guess, per se. At this point right now, we're not making any barley flour. So we're going to do 600 cycles a month. So basically just take... I think it's like 150 times 6. So yeah, this barley is not going to last us very long at all. Oat flour is a little bit less expensive. They're all 150. Oat gives us the best output though. Yeah, looks like we need to get our oat over here as well so that we can go ahead and get some oat flour rolling. Seems how we don't really have anywhere else that we can put the oat. And again, if we just take a look at what everything sells for, by the way, I did get rid of the enhanced banking mod. I did turn that off. I was not really too big of a fan of that. So just want to keep you guys updated. I'm not going to run that mod anymore. I think this banking system that's built into the game is perfect. It does what we need it to do. It's $5,000 at a time. Where am I going? What am I looking for? Looking for sale prices. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so let's roll down here and let's get into our flour. And flour looks like it sells for, in December, $11.84 is going to be its high price. I wasn't 100% certain if they had it broken out by the different types of flour, like oat flour, wheat flour, barley flour. I guess flour is flour. And we can sell it for that. Now, bread, this is where we're ultimately looking to get to, is the bread factory. So $3,100 for some bread. That kind of makes me think it's time to put a bread factory down. So that way, once we start producing this flour, we can go ahead and take it over to the bread factory, and we can start making some bread and really start getting some money made here soon. As far as other things that we need to take care of today in this episode, we are going to work on expanding our fields. Now, the shame of it is, and if I was thinking a little bit more clearly, I would have waited before I advanced into the month of October, but I didn't. Typical me, I get impatient. But the other thing I was talking about doing in the episode that no longer exists was, now that we've sold off the original starting house that we had and the barn and all of the fencing, is basically taking this wheat field right here and connecting it to the wheat field that's in the back. In order to do so, we have to cut down all of these trees here so that we can connect these two fields and make it into one large wheat field. So that's going to probably be a project that gets undertaken here in just a little while. I may just go ahead and take care of cutting the trees down in this episode, get that all knocked out and taken care of. But for right now, we need to finish getting all of our grain that we have available over to the grain mill. And then from there, I think what we're going to do is look at putting a small grass field in over here by our house. We may end up buying some more land in this episode as well. I've been looking at this section of field 24 here, and I really feel like we can put a really good sized field into this whole area. So I tell you what we're going to do real quick, just because we're already talking about it and we're already there. Let's just go ahead and buy field 24. So now there we own that. And I don't know what we're going to put in there. Maybe a sorghum field, maybe a corn field. I could put the grass field, but I mean, realistically, I mean, what do we need a grass field for right now? We don't have any cows. We don't have any need for like TMR. I mean, we could do sheep. Ooh, we could put a sheep pen down. Who knows? Who knows? All right, so we did a little bit of work here as we take our last load of wheat over to the grain mill. There's a few things we put down. So we did put down a bakery. We did a little bit more landscaping here. As you can see, I kind of put in a new roadway system here to get me over to my farm just a little bit quicker than what we had been. Probably also going to throw a road in that kind of connects to from here straight across over to this road that you see off in the distance, which we also just put in. And then over there in the distance, just beyond the trees, you can see a new building that has been placed. That is going to be the No Man's Land market, which will give us another option for selling our bread in the near future. So once we get this wheat over to the grain mill, we're going to go ahead and activate all of the grain or the flour productions that we can between oat, barley, and this load of wheat right here. That's going to produce us some flour. The flour we can then take to the bakery and start making some bread, and then hopefully sell the bread off to the grocery market in upcoming months here to help us make just a little bit more money, get us kind of kick-started here around the farm. All right, last load of wheat is in, so let's go ahead. We're going to activate our oat flour, our barley flour, and our wheat flour. As you can see, it's already chewing through everything that we have, so I don't anticipate this lasting very long whatsoever. We're not going to update the production chain just yet because, well, we just don't have anything to resupply it with. Looks like we've just made about $7,000, so that must mean a load of our mushrooms were sent off to be sold as well. The bakery is just on the other side of this tree line over here, so we won't have too far to go between the grain mill and the bakery. As you can see, it is out here just out to my left. And then from the bakery, we don't have very far to travel over to the supermarket as well. I just have to do a little bit of landscaping around the grocery store, the No Man's Land market, just to kind of dress that up and make it look pretty good. Other things I'm going to probably do too is focus on doing some landscaping. I want to put some more trees around this oat field. I'd like to just kind of add some stuff for the landscape visual. But for right now, we're going to make our way back over to the farm. We're going to connect to our plow, and we're going to go ahead and put a new field in over here in Farmland 24. And then we just need to determine what it is that we're actually going to plant over there. I really don't know what we're going to put in there just yet, but we'll at least get it plowed up, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we're working on putting our field in here at Farmland 24. Not going to be as big as I thought it was going to be completely honest. It kind of makes me think maybe we buy plot 23 as well, and we can extend this field all the way out to the wood line that you see off there in the distance. But we'll get the rest of this knocked out. I'll clean that little piece up there that I missed. I'll get all this cleaned up, and then we'll take a look at how large this is actually going to be. I think I want to go a little bit bigger than what we currently have here. This isn't bad. Depending on what we plant here, we can make some decent yield off of this, especially with the precision farming. That's going to help us out big time. Now, I was going to mow up all of this meadow grass, and I was actually going to use it for sheep, but I figured I don't necessarily think I want to get into sheep right now. We don't have a spinnery or anything other that we can do with the wool, rather than just, the only option we'd really have is just to sell it to the farm shop, and at which point we're not going to make the best money. We'd make some, but we're not going to make the best. See, I think this field right here is at least going to be open for options. Nonetheless, we're putting another field in, which is always a good thing, so we can plant more crop. We can make more money that way. And then we also can't forget too, we're going to expand our wheat field. Unfortunately, we have to wait until the harvest in order to do that, because then we can just plow up both fields at one time and just connect them through the tree line that we have there. I think, I don't know. I think we're going to buy plot 23 as well, just so we can make a much larger field than what we're currently looking at having here. I mean, this is going to be big enough. I mean, if we did a grass field here, we would yield pretty well off the grass field, but I'm thinking we go bigger. Bigger means we make more money, and I'm all about making more money. We went for it. We bought farmland 23. You knew it was going to happen. I mean, you knew it was going to happen. The big thing here is I think we're going to kind of take the field out to probably about right here is really as far as I want to take this out. And then what I'm going to do is just up from the top side here. Yeah, that's going to make this field considerably larger for us. Now, if we do plant a grass field here, we're going to pull a fair amount of bales off of this as well for silage, which silage normally is going to make you some pretty good money. So I feel like just making the field slightly larger just opens us up for additional crop, additional options that we can utilize throughout the farm. And then a big thing here is we have room to expand within plot 23 here, because what we're gonna run into is we can farm this whole entire section as well, which we can put another smaller field in over here. And realistically, I mean, this field, and it could just be a continuance of this field, to be completely honest with you. I mean, this field could just end up being massive, very similar to our canola field. We could just kind of go ham on this one, make it super large, and then plant. I'm thinking corn is the direction I want to go in this field. That's kind of what I'm feeling. I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking it might be corn. Yeah, I think for right now, this field size here that we have is going to work for us pretty well. I still think we're going to proceed with putting a cornfield in, but that kind of presents another problem in itself, is we don't have a planter. So we can't necessarily plant corn, but there could be some options that maybe helps us. Maybe we got some options out there that's going to help us get some corn planted. So we do have the Case 2150 early riser planters, but they're a little expensive, little on the expensive side. But the nice thing is all of these options right here do seed and fertilization. So that's a good thing for us. It's going to help us save some money in the long run. Now, I do like the $150,000 case here. 9-meter working width is going to do just fine for us, especially for the size fields that we currently have. But down the line, we could even upgrade to the 18.3-meter working width, and it does all the same stuff. Horsepower requirements for all of these are really not that bad. 150 horsepower for the smaller seeder or planter here as well. And then we also have the humongous John Deere planter that does 36.5 meters. That's probably going to be about 3 passes on the field, and that's going to be taken care of. But yeah, those are the couple different options, right? I think we're going to be leaning towards the Case. We might end up just actually doing a red farm here. So we might just end up going with some Case tractors. Let's see what we have available for Case in the larger tractor department. So we have the Case AFS Connect series that goes up to 435 horsepower. And then we also have, I don't really feel like we need the Steiger wheeled, the articulated steering. Now this here, the Connect, the Magnum series and the black limited edition. Check this thing out. Look at that. That's so beautiful looking. I almost don't even mind the double wheels on it as well too. That's oh, we could do some cabin curtains. Check it out. Nice. Nice. But I don't think we would go with that. Front weights. Yeah, we probably wouldn't be too concerned about doing a front weight with this tractor here. Now, the wheels are really... It's really the only thing... You can't get rid of the dualies on the front and back, but Jeez, that's just a nice looking tractor right there. I would go just as is with that one. I'd love to take a loan out to purchase this tractor. But man, I don't know. Is it really worth taking a loan out? I mean, it gives us something else to spend some money on. So here's what I'm thinking. If we, there's nothing on the sales page, unfortunately. I mean, there's a front loader, but that doesn't do much for us. There's a sprayer, but it's not the type of sprayer that we would want for our fields. Roller for grass fields. Yeah, we don't necessarily have grass fields yet that we need to worry about. So, I mean, if we took the $500,000 loan out, that does add a little bit of a need to spend money. So I think what we do is, yeah, we'll just go ahead and we're going to borrow some money from the bank. And this is going to allow us to purchase our tractor. We're just going to max it out. We're just going to go $500,000 on the loan. Completely max it out. That gives us $547,000 from the bank. Now what we can actually do is turn in the Kloss tractor. Now you watch, that Kloss is going to end up being on sale here soon. I guarantee it. But we need to get back over here to the Magnum. God, the thing is so nice. I don't even think it's going to fit in the barn, to be completely honest with you. GPS, I mean, sure, we'll go with the GPS just because we do have the AI workers. We'll need to put an RTK station down in order to get them a little bit more reliable when we turn them loose to do some field work for us in the future. But yeah, this is going to be it. We are buying our first tractor. Now, where did that spawn at? Yeah, it spawned all the way over at a random location. Oh, and this tractor hauls the mail to 32 mile an hour speed. Oh, this is going to be nice. Now, can I sneak through here without destroying any of our crop? Yeah, we sure can. Plenty of room. This thing is an absolute wild child. Look at this. I think this is actually one of the first times, too, I've ever ran a tractor with dualies on the front and back. I got to be honest. I'm pretty sure it's the first time. First time for everything. All right, so taking a look at our crop calendar right now, realistically, there's nothing really for us to do. I mean, we don't really have anything. We can't even plant our oat field yet. Our canola is not going to be ready to harvest until July. Same thing for our wheat. Same thing. Well, I don't think we even put barley down. Did we put barley down? I don't know if we actually did a barley field or not. I know we have the oat field, the canola field, the wheat fields. Maybe we put barley in this field. I mean, we could put barley in here. We are in the last month for planting barley. I do like the idea of doing corn, though, because corn can be turned around, and the time between planting and harvesting is pretty quick. And then that also gives us, man, we need like one more big field. That's what we really need. I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of manage things throughout the wintertime here as that time draws closer for us. I'll keep an eye on the fields. I think we're going to catch up again, most likely in the springtime. I think we're going to look at planting our corn. We'll see you in the spring. All right, so we're currently in the month of December. We're slowly making our way to the spring. There's a few more things that I need to do that I kind of, I'll be honest, I just really wasn't thinking about doing. We have 6,000 liters of flour with 6,000 more over in the spawn point already. So we need to get this over to the bakery so we can start making some bread. Yeah, so chickens are doing well. We have one full pallet of eggs. Couple things have taken place here around the farm. I'm gonna have to get you guys updated here as I offload this flour into the bakery. I'm gonna head over, pick up the remaining pallets of flour that we have. We did pick ourselves up a nice little auto load trailer here to make transporting these pallets a lot easier for ourselves. Once I get this last load of flour over to the bakery, I'm gonna head back over to the farm, show you guys what else we have that's new to us on the farm. And then I think we're going to save our springtime ideas and chore list for the next video. Let me get the rest of this flour delivered. We'll talk about some things. We'll get you guys updated. So we ended up pulling a total of 18,000 liters of flour, and we still have 40,000 more liters in storage. That's insane. That is insane. Now, what I would like to do is try to set this to distributing and have it go to our bakery so that we don't necessarily have to worry about transporting pallets back and forth. So what we could probably do is change that to distributing. And I wonder if that's going to give our bakery a bit of a boost. They just continue to spawn. I mean, they just continue to spawn. We got multiple trips that we need to make. 40,000 liters, and we did not put that much in the grain mill. I mean, we probably put a total of maybe close to 60,000 liters of grain into the mill, and we've pulled. I mean, that's insane. That we almost did basically a 1-for-1 swap of grain for flour. I mean, that's pretty significant. Now, so we should have roughly 18,000 liters of flour stored in here. Now, I'm just wondering, this is not, oh, you know what? I bet you it's because we don't have bread actually activated. So we can go ahead, start making some bread. And I'm really hoping that our flour actually distributes over to the bakery. I'm not sure that it's going to, though. It should, but I'm not sure it will. We'll see. I think in the future as well, what we're going to get is a global transport pallet as well, too, just to make this stuff just a little bit easier on us. All right, so we made a slight modification to how we're going to auto-load these pallets. We have officially bought ourselves a semi-trailer. Oop, yeah, it's too late to go that way. Semi-trailer with auto-loading capabilities. So this is going to help us out big time. Now, do both sides of this open, or does just one side? Just one side opens up. So realistically, what we're going to be able to do now is just kind of hang out right here outside of the grain mill and load up the last 40,000 liters of flour that we have, hopefully. And we're going to enable auto load. We're going to wait because I know that there's more that's going to spawn. There she goes. Now she's filling up. So we're at 18 of 50. Yeah, this would have taken us forever with the small little trailer that we had. And yeah, this is just going to be so much more efficient for us as we get all of this flour over to the bakery. There's another 28,000 liters of, oh Lord, 28,000 liters of flour. And we barely put any in. That's the crazy thing. There's should be the last bit of the flour right there is what I'm thinking. Yeah, because we don't have another full pallet. So let's go ahead. We'll close up the semi-trailer curtain here. This is going to be a much-needed purchase for the farm right here. Yeah, this is heavy. Why is my door not shut? The door on my truck is, like, wide open. What's going on here? I'm just done asking. Just not going to ask any more questions. Now let's see how the unloading process is going to work. So we'll open up this curtain here. In all reality, we should just be able to pull right up. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. We are, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're in the flour business. We'll let the rest of those unload. I'll catch you guys in the next episode when we get into the spring for the harvest season. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys we bought a combine.